Hi there, fellow cruise lovers. Welcome aboard Travel Vibes, where real travelers like you get the smart, up-to-date tips you actually need before setting sail. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser with a dozen pins on your lanyard, or you're counting down to your very first voyage, you're in the right place. If you're someone who loves waking up to ocean sunrises, strolling foreign ports without dragging a suitcase, or savoring that first sip of coffee on a quiet balcony, then yep, you're one of us. You understand the magic of life at sea. But even the most magical adventures come with a few rules, and in 2025, they've changed. So today, I'm going to walk you through the 15 essential new cruise rules that could make or break your next trip. And trust me, some of them might surprise you. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another tip that helps you cruise smarter, smoother, and with fewer surprises. Ready? Let's set sail. Rule 1. Say goodbye to cases of bottled water. If you're the kind of cruiser who loves being prepared, packing snacks, sunscreen, and yes, that trusty case of bottled water, you might want to pause before loading up for your next voyage. Because as of 2025, cases of bottled water are no longer allowed on most cruise ships. Now, that may sound inconvenient at first, especially for those of us who like to stay hydrated and avoid overpriced drinks, but this rule has deeper roots. First, there's the environmental impact. With cruise lines under global pressure to become more sustainable, especially after the Ocean Conservancy's 2023 report ranked cruise ships among the top sources of plastic bottle waste at sea, companies had to act. Banning bulk plastic is a small step with a big ripple effect. Second, and more surprisingly, there's a sneaky reason behind this: alcohol smuggling. Yep, it turns out some passengers were slipping vodka into water bottles and bypassing onboard drink rules. Security teams caught on, and cruise lines responded. The good news? You can still bring a refillable water bottle. In fact, newer ships now feature sleek, touchless hydration stations with chilled, filtered water. Some lines even allow limited factory-sealed soda cans per person, as long as you follow the guidelines. So here's the travel smart tip: stay hydrated the sustainable way. Save space in your luggage, avoid long security checks, and feel good knowing you're doing your part to protect the oceans we all love. Because true cruise lovers don't just enjoy the sea, they respect it. Rule 2. No more stockpiling. Your drink must be open now. If you're a loyal cruiser, maybe a diamond or platinum level guest, you probably know the joy of complimentary drinks. That moment when your favorite cocktail is free just feels like a badge of honor, right? But here's the new twist for 2025. If you're taking that drink away from the bar, it now has to be opened before you go. This change, started by Royal Caribbean, caught many seasoned travelers by surprise. For years, guests would grab a few unopened beers or sodas and take them back to the cabin, saving them for later, or for someone else. But cruise lines noticed that some passengers weren't just sipping for themselves. People were sharing, storing, and yes, even handing drinks to underage guests. To keep things fair and safe, cruise lines now require that all drinks consumed outside the bar are opened on the spot. That way, your drink perks are yours alone, not turned into a makeshift minibar or passed around like party favors. If you're someone who appreciates structure, loves following cruise etiquette, and wants to enjoy your benefits without stress, this rule works in your favor. It protects the integrity of the loyalty program, keeps the vibe on board friendly and balanced, and helps crew members do their jobs with less confusion. So here's the takeaway: sip smart, not sneaky. Your vacation is meant to be enjoyed. Just make sure the perks are poured with purpose. Rule 3. Smoking on balconies? Still a firm no in 2025. If you're someone who loves to start the day with coffee on the balcony, watching the sunrise over the open sea, you're not alone. That quiet moment, ocean breeze in your face, is pure magic. But if you're a smoker, here's something you need to know before lighting up out there. Balcony smoking is strictly banned on nearly all cruise lines, and in 2025, enforcement is tighter than ever. This rule isn't exactly new, but it's become non-negotiable. It all goes back to a terrifying incident on the Star Princess in 2006. A single lit cigarette sparked a fire on a stateroom balcony, damaging over 100 cabins and tragically taking one life. Since then, cruise lines have taken no chances. Today's ships are designed with fire-resistant materials, equipped with sprinklers, and monitored more closely by security teams. Still, the policy remains clear. Smoking is only allowed in designated zones, typically on open-air decks, never on private balconies. And yes, we know, some guests feel frustrated. But the truth is, this rule isn't about restriction. It's about protecting thousands of guests and crew sharing a floating home at sea. So if you're a smoker, check your ship's layout ahead of time. Knowing where the smoking areas are will help you relax and enjoy your trip without risking a fine or even disembarkation. Because whether you're a casual cruiser or a loyal platinum member, we're all responsible for keeping cruising safe, peaceful, and enjoyable for everyone. And honestly, that balcony breeze feels even better when you know everyone's safe. Rule 4. What you can't pack anymore: the updated banned items list. Cruise travelers tend to be a thoughtful bunch. Many of us are planners by nature, organized, curious, and always looking for ways to make our cabin feel just a little more like home. That's why this next update might catch some guests off guard. In 2025, cruise lines have expanded their prohibited items list, and it's longer and stricter than before. What used to be considered travel-friendly is now off-limits. First up, Bluetooth speakers. While these were once allowed in private cabins, too many passengers started blasting music on open decks and quiet hallways. It disrupted the peaceful atmosphere that most cruisers value, especially those who cruise to relax, read, or simply hear the ocean. Then there's the tech side. Personal internet routers and even Starlink minis are now banned. Cruise ships have their own internal communication systems, and these devices can cause serious interference. It's like bringing your own satellite dish into someone else's control tower. Not ideal. And perhaps most surprising, power strips. Yes, even the non-surge protected kind are now being restricted on certain lines like Royal Caribbean. The reason? Safety and consistency. With cabins limited to just a few outlets, many travelers were bringing a variety of power bars, and it became too difficult for security teams to quickly identify which were safe and which posed electrical hazards. What's still okay? USB-only hubs. If you need to charge your phone, smartwatch, or Kindle, those are still welcome. Just don't pack your old 6-outlet power strip and expect smooth sailing through security. So before you zip that suitcase shut, take a moment to double-check your cruise line's latest rules. Because cruising well means packing smart, and nothing kills a great vacation vibe like having your gear confiscated before you've even unpacked. Rule 5. Sniffer dogs at the terminal. Yes, they're there for you too. For those of us who love cruising, the ease of embarkation day, the thrill of walking up that gangway, the smell of salt water in the air, it's all part of the ritual. But in 2025, there's a new part of that ritual you should expect to see. Sniffer dogs at the port. Not just for checked luggage anymore. These highly trained dogs are now routinely inspecting carry-ons, backpacks, and even personal items as you move through the terminal, especially at major ports like Miami and Port Canaveral. Why the change? While some substances may now be legal in certain U.S. states, cruise lines must abide by federal law, and more importantly, the laws of every port they visit. What's allowed in California or Colorado might be strictly illegal in places like the Bahamas, Jamaica, or the Cayman Islands. That's why cruise companies are tightening up. They're not just protecting their guests, they're protecting their ability to dock in international waters without conflict. And here's the bottom line. Don't take the risk. Even if you think it's harmless, even if it's for personal use, bringing restricted items on board could mean denied boarding, or worse, being removed mid-cruise. We cruise lovers are explorers at heart, not rule breakers. We value freedom, but also fairness, safety, and the trust that lets thousands of people share the same floating home. So let's keep the adventure smooth and the surprises where they belong. In the destinations, not at security. Rule 6. No homemade treats for the crew. Kindness with caution. If you've ever felt deeply grateful for a crew member who went the extra mile, a room steward who remembered your name, or a waiter who made every dinner feel special, you're not alone. Cruise lovers are a generous, thoughtful bunch. We appreciate great service, and we often want to give back in a personal way. So it might feel natural to bake cookies, bring homemade treats, or share something from home as a small gesture of thanks. But in 2025, cruise lines are making it crystal clear. Homemade food for crew is a firm no. And the reason makes sense. It's not about being ungrateful, it's about health and safety. Perishable, unpackaged foods can carry bacteria or allergens that aren't always visible. In fact, there have been real incidents where crew members became ill after accepting homemade gifts, even when given with the best intentions. That's why most cruise companies have adopted strict policies. Crew members are now instructed to politely decline any food that isn't factory sealed or pre-packaged. Accepting it could actually get them in trouble with management. But don't worry, there are still plenty of heartfelt ways to show appreciation. A thank you card, a small gift from a port, or even a generous tip go a long way. And the truth is, most crew members value sincere words more than sweets. So let's keep spreading kindness, just in the right way. Because when we care about those who care for us, we make cruising better. For everyone. Rule 7. Transparent pricing. Because surprises belong at sea, not at checkout. As cruise lovers, we enjoy a good surprise. A towel animal on the bed, a sunset no photo can capture, or discovering your favorite dessert on the menu 2 nights in a row. But one thing we don't love? Unexpected fees when we're trying to book our dream getaway. That's why this new rule in 2025 is such a breath of fresh sea air. Thanks to honest pricing legislation, especially led by the state of California, cruise lines sailing from U.S. ports are now required to show full fares up front. That means the price you see includes taxes, port fees, and mandatory charges, right from the start. No more scrolling through a great deal, only to find out it jumps hundreds of dollars at the final screen. That kind of pricing gotcha frustrated travelers for years, and it made budgeting harder than it needed to be. Now, while things like gratuities, drink packages, or excursions are still separate, the core fare is finally clear. This helps travelers, especially those who plan carefully and value transparency and trust, make better decisions. It's a win not just for your wallet, but for your peace of mind. Because when the only surprise you get is a champagne toast or an upgrade at check-in, that's the kind of magic cruising is all about. Rule 8. Mobility scooter rules. What you roll with now matters. Cruise travelers come in all shapes, all speeds, and all stories. And one thing that makes cruising so special is how accessible it is for everyone, especially for those who use mobility scooters to explore the world in comfort and confidence. But in 2025, there's a new rule you'll need to know. If your scooter is wider than 21 inches, it must be able to fit fully inside your stateroom, or you'll need to book an accessible cabin with wider doors and extra space. If it doesn't meet these guidelines, you could be denied boarding at the port. Why such a strict policy? It comes down to safety and mobility for everyone on board. Cruise hallways are narrow, and in the event of an emergency evacuation, every second and every inch matters. Blocking walkways, even unintentionally, puts others at risk. The good news? Cruise lines are making it easier than ever. Many now partner with trusted services like Scootaround, which can deliver compliant scooters directly to your ship, already sized to match your cabin and ship specifications. So if you, or a loved one, relies on a scooter, take a moment to check the dimensions before booking. Because thoughtful planning means less stress and more freedom to explore every port, every promenade, and every adventure waiting on deck. Rule 9. Poolside chair hog crackdowns. Use it or lose it. If you've ever walked onto the pool deck, coffee in hand, ready to soak up the morning sun, only to find every lounger reserved with a towel and not a soul in sight, you're definitely not alone. Chair hogging has become one of the biggest frustrations for cruise lovers who just want to enjoy their sea days without playing towel detective. Well, in 2025, cruise lines have decided enough is enough. Royal Caribbean now enforces a 30-minute limit, and Carnival allows 40 minutes. If a chair sits empty too long, crew members will tag it, note the time, and after the grace period they'll remove your belongings and place them at the towel station for safekeeping. It's not about being strict, it's about being fair. Cruises attract all kinds of travelers. Some love early morning yoga on deck, others enjoy napping poolside with a book. And for many families, finding a free lounger can make or break the day. The idea here is simple. If you're actively enjoying the chair, great. But if you're off grabbing lunch, at a spa appointment, or halfway across the ship, let someone else enjoy the sunshine. Kindness and consideration go a long way at sea. After all, we're sharing paradise together, one chair at a time. Rule 10. No drinks in pools or hot tubs. Sit by the water, not in it. For many cruisers, a cold cocktail in hand while lounging in the hot tub is the picture-perfect vacation moment. It's easy to imagine. Sun on your shoulders, bubbles around your legs, and that frosty pina colada within reach. But in 2025, cruise lines are changing the script on that classic scene. Several lines, including MSC, now prohibit all drinks, even in plastic cups, from being brought into pools or hot tubs. And yes, that includes those refreshing frozen daiquiris and poolside mocktails we all love. So what's behind this shift? The answer is simple: hygiene and safety. When drinks get spilled, they don't just vanish. They mix into the water system and can create messes, sticky surfaces, or worse, encourage behaviors that aren't exactly sanitary. Let's be honest, we've all quietly wondered about those guests who spend hours in the hot tub and never seem to leave. This rule helps ensure the pool and spa areas stay clean, safe, and relaxing for everyone. You can still enjoy your favorite drink just a few steps away, on a lounger or at a shaded table. It's not about losing the luxury, it's about raising the standard. After all, the best part of being a cruise lover is knowing we're sharing this floating paradise with thousands of others. And we all deserve water that's crystal clear in every sense of the word. Rule 11. Main dining room limits. Yes, even lobster has a limit now. For cruise lovers, the dining room experience is more than just food. It's tradition. The white tablecloths, the friendly servers who remember your name, and that little thrill when the waiter says, "Order as much as you like." But in 2025, that all-you-can-eat mindset is getting a bit of a makeover. Cruise lines like Carnival and MSC are now placing limits on main entrees. Most notably, you can still enjoy 2 main courses, but ordering a third will now cost you an extra $5. And those endless lobster tails on formal night? Don't be surprised if there's a surcharge for the second one. So why the change? It's not to spoil your fun, it's to fight food waste, which has become a growing concern across the entire travel industry. According to a report by the World Wildlife Fund, cruise ships can generate tons of wasted food per week. And let's face it, we've all seen a table or two where plates pile up barely touched. This update encourages more mindful dining. You can still enjoy delicious meals, filet mignon, salmon, pasta primavera, just with a little more intention. Order what you love, try something new, and if you're still hungry, dessert is always waiting. Because sometimes the best dining memories aren't made from having more on your plate, they come from savoring every bite. Rule 12. No sharing drink packages. Cheers just got stricter. If you've ever cruised with a partner who barely touches alcohol while you enjoy your daily glass of wine or a poolside mojito, this next update might feel a little unfair, because in 2025, sharing drink packages is officially off the table. In the past, some cruisers would purchase just 1 beverage package per cabin and casually share it with a spouse or friend. But today, most cruise lines require every adult in the same stateroom to purchase the package. No exceptions. Why the clampdown? It's all about preventing abuse. Cruise lines noticed that shared packages often led to underage access, overconsumption, or simply guests gaming the system. Just like stadiums or all-inclusive resorts, cruise ships rely on consistency to keep experiences fair and manageable for thousands of guests. Yes, we know it stings if one of you barely drinks, but some cruise lines now offer non-alcoholic packages, and others let you skip the package entirely and just pay per drink. The key is knowing your habits and doing the math before you book. As cruise lovers, we're planners and practical thinkers. We also appreciate a good deal. But we also know that when everyone plays by the same rules, the whole voyage runs smoother. So raise your glass, your own glass, and toast to clearer policies and smarter cruising. Rule 13. Digital luggage tags. Boarding smarter starts at home. For many cruise travelers, the excitement starts the moment your suitcase rolls out of the closet. Packing cubes, tropical prints, and that one pair of sandals you only wear at sea, it's part of the fun. But in 2025, there's one more item to add to your pre-cruise checklist: digital luggage tags. Gone are the days when port staff handed you printed tags or scribbled room numbers with a Sharpie. Today, most cruise lines now require you to download and print your own luggage tags, complete with scannable QR codes for real-time tracking. Some ships have even started using RFID technology, much like airports do, to keep tabs on your bags from drop-off to doorstep. It's modern, it's efficient, but only if you come prepared. Showing up without a printed tag could slow down your boarding or even misdirect your luggage. Here's a simple fix. Invest in reusable plastic luggage tag holders. They're waterproof, cruise-approved, and protect your tags from tearing in the shuffle. You'll find seasoned cruisers, especially those who love smooth boarding, stress-free logistics, and neat cabin setups, swear by them. Because part of cruising smart is arriving calm, organized, and ready for that welcome aboard moment. And with one little tag, your vacation starts off exactly the way it should, on the right track. Rule 14: Data limits and streaming restrictions. Cruising in the digital age. Let's face it, cruisers today aren't just packing flip-flops and sunscreen. We're bringing smartphones, tablets, e-readers, and sometimes even gaming consoles. For many travelers, especially those who love sharing sunset views on Instagram or staying connected through WhatsApp, Wi-Fi has become as essential as ocean views. In 2025, cruise lines are keeping up with the trend. Thanks to Starlink and upgraded satellite systems, ships now offer faster onboard Wi-Fi than ever before. But with more speed comes more demand and a few new limitations. Many cruise lines are now introducing soft data caps and app restrictions, especially on standard plans. Popular platforms like TikTok, VPN services, and online gaming apps may not run smoothly, or may be blocked entirely unless you upgrade to a premium internet package. It's not just about speed, it's about bandwidth balance. When thousands of guests stream videos at once, the system slows down for everyone. So if you love binge-watching your favorite series, or you plan to upload daily travel vlogs, download your content before boarding, and always check what your package includes. You'll thank yourself when you're halfway across the Atlantic and not stuck buffering at 1 megabit per hour. Digital-savvy cruisers plan ahead. That's how you stay connected, without sacrificing your peace of mind. Rule 15: Face ID and biometric boarding. Cruising into the future. Remember the days when you printed your boarding pass, folded it neatly, and tucked it into your passport holder? Well, in 2025, that habit is officially retired. Many cruise terminals around the world have now adopted biometric systems, from facial recognition to thumbprint scans and automated kiosks, making paper passes a thing of the past. At first glance, it might feel a little high-tech, especially for those of us who enjoy the slower pace of sea travel. But here's the upside. This technology isn't just sleek, it's smarter and faster. Cruise lines say it reduces wait times, improves security, and simplifies the entire embarkation process. And from what seasoned travelers report, they're absolutely right. The catch? You need to be prepared before you arrive. That means uploading your photo and completing your personal details in your online check-in, often several days before your sail date. If you skip that step, be ready for longer lines and manual screening at the port. Cruisers who value efficiency, smooth boarding, and stress-free travel will love this update. It's like stepping onto your ship with the future already in your pocket. Because when you're sailing toward new adventures, the last thing you want is to be stuck in yesterday's check-in line. So here's the big picture. Cruising in 2025 isn't harder. It's just smarter. From digital tags to Face ID boarding, from updated dining rules to fairer lounge chair policies, these changes aren't here to ruin the fun. They're here to protect it. For you, for fellow guests, and for the unforgettable experience we all come on board to enjoy. As cruise lovers, we thrive on adventure, but we also value order, safety, and respect for the journey. When you embrace these new rules with confidence, you're not just another passenger. You're part of a new wave of travelers who sail informed, empowered, and prepared. So pack your refillable water bottle, preload your Netflix shows, smile for the biometric scan, and cruise into a future where knowledge is your greatest travel upgrade. Thanks for sailing with us at Travel Vibes. And as always, smooth seas and smart sailing.